This winter is going to be remembered for its frigid cold snap and its large snowstorms. Especially this, the largest in over a decade, that has landed right as we were starting to warm up and hear even the beginning of the birds chirping to show the signs that spring isn't too far off. But outside of the window, the world is a blur of white. The wind howls, piling drifts against the door, 2-3 feet deep, and the garden, once vibrant and full of life, is buried under a heavy frozen blanket. If you didn't know any better, you'd think the earth was dead. But beneath that crushing weight of snow, something miraculous is still happening. The soil isn't empty. It is teeming with life that is being prepared for the next season. In the middle of a blizzard, the promise of spring feels like a fairy tale. But we don't panic. We don't mourn the permanent loss of the sun. Why? Because we've seen the faithfulness of the seasons. We know that the cold is not an ending. It is a preparation. God's promises work much like those buried seeds in the work that's happening underneath the snow. When we are in a winter season of life, perhaps dealing with grief or a silent period in our faith, it's easy to look at the landscape of our lives and to see only the storm. We mistake the coverage of the snow for the absence of promise. The Bible tells us that God's word does not return void. Just as the snow and rain water the earth to make it bud and flourish, God's promises are actively working even when they are invisible to our eyes. Believe it or not, a heavy layer of snow can act as insulation, protecting delicate roots from a killing deep freeze of the open air. Your current trial might be actually the very thing that God is using to shield your growth for this next season of promised presence. If the flower bloomed in January, it would perish. God's timing isn't a delay. It can be a mercy. It's God's time. God might be waiting for the environment to be ready for your breakthrough. Perhaps take a moment now to look at the snow outside of your window and where there is snow in your own life. What feels cold, heavy, or buried? God is a God of the roots. God is tending to you in the dark, in the cold, and under the pressure. The thaw is going to come. Not because we can see it, but because God has promised it. And God has promised so much more.